Lore Friendly, episode 118.
How are you?
Okay, I guess. Same as always. How about yourself?
Same old, just looking after pigs. I practiced sewing a face mask today.
Oh, nice.
Homemade, with the pleats in it and everything.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
So
impressive.
it's a proper professional job.
You start a business. No, face masks are like the thing now.
The latest fashion accessory.
I wish the Bethesda store would start selling face masks. That would be pretty cool.
Oh god, yeah.
Because you could rep, your Skyrim shit. I think Eleonora sells a face mask that has the item screen on the face, where it just says face mask and it gives the weight and the value.
Oh, amazing.
I don't know how
want
legal
that.
that is, though.
I want it.
I don't know if ZeniMax is gonna come at her with, lawyers and stuff. But, it's
Probably
property
not.
of ZeniMax. I mean, I did learn that they did go after the Pray for the Gods people because they have the name Prey in their title.
What?
So they had to change it to
No.
Praey, Pray for the Gods, instead.
That's like whatchamacallit? That's like when the Fine Brothers tried to copyright the whole idea of a reaction video. You can't do that.
I mean, it depends. I don't know if you have to fight for your trademark in every instance just because that's the way, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just talking out of my ass, but that's the way sort of the legal system works. It's based on precedent, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't fight for your trademark in an earlier instance, then later time, when it comes time to really fight, they'll just say, hey, you didn't fight for it last time. Which is why all those games that are sort of remakes, fan-made remakes, never see the light of day because the company has to fight for their trademark. I don't know if that's the instance in this case. They have to fight for their IP or their copyright, but oftentimes that's why companies get super litigious anytime anything even remotely infringes on a
That's
copyright
why
trademark.
fan fiction was such a controversial issue, especially in the 90s. Like Anne Rice, she was the Vampire Chronicles author. She was infamous for going in hard on early internet forums and stuff who were posting fan fiction of her characters. Of course, it's obviously become a lot more relaxed now, and that's generally attributed to J.K. Rowling being quite relaxed about fan fiction and encouraging fan fiction almost.
Yeah, fanfiction seems like it would be promoting your work. I don't know.
But it's the same instance of I know George R. R. Martin talked about it quite a lot, where he was saying that he should be fighting fan fiction because it's upholding his trademark and his copyright.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do it because even though he doesn't like fan fiction, he doesn't want to be a dick about it because it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be a dick. You don't want to, hurt your fans, the people who love you. But at the same time, if you don't fight for something, it could set a precedent where later down the line, they're like, oh, you didn't stop this fan fiction. You're not going to stop me from writing books
Making a whole
6 and
film!
7. Yeah. Or actually finishing the books that you're never going to finish. So
Please, it's so you know how last year he went to this, I think it was some sort of convention in New Zealand. It was around this time last year where he said, if I come back and I don't have the copy of Winds of Winter, you're allowed to arrest me. So I'm expecting an announcement anytime soon that George R. R. Martin has been arrested, kidnapped and deported to New Zealand so that he can finish off his masterpiece, finally.
Now, I saw in the news that he bought a train set, only
you
they were
dropped out
actual trains. Because he's that rich. You know how normal people, if they have a hobby, they like trains, they buy a little toy train set. George R. R. Martin just bought an entire railroad in, I don't know, in Arizona or somewhere in New Mexico or somewhere down there. They're going to turn it into a park. I don't know. It's
What?
rich people things. He bought an abandoned sort of, you know how they have those abandoned towns, and they turn them into like little parks, like where people can go,
Yeah.
like tourism kind of thing. Yeah, like he bought like an old like abandoned railroad station with like a bunch of trains and stuff, and
Choo choo.
instead of Winds of Winter, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a theme park.
But what's it going to be based on?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just going to be a big old wolf sanctuary, because he's quite famous for donating a lot of his royalties to a local wolf sanctuary.
Oh, I think it's gonna
So
be.
that'd
It's a
be quite
train
cute.
sanctuary. It's a place where trains can go to.
It's a place where the
live and
wolves are the
frolic.
conductors of the trains.
It'll be like the the Thomas the Tank Engine
But with
in
dogs.
Skyrim.
I'm down with that.
It'll just be Thomas the Tank Engine in Westeros. That's all it's gonna be.
I mean, I'm down with the Fat Controller getting brutally slaughtered by Percy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Books 6 and 7 already written. Is it 6 and 7?
Excellent.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't even know anymore.
Yes, 6 and 7, if they ever come out.
Speaking of trademarks and copyright, I did trademark Out of Shapes the other day,
Ooh!
but
Exciting!
it's just another money sink. This game, I don't think it's sold. I haven't looked at the numbers recently, but it's been wish listed a lot, but I don't think it's sold like very many copies, so it's pretty much dead at this point.
Aww.
Which is fine. I expected this. This is like phase 2 of the master plan. Phase 1 was release the game, and then phase 2 was to ignore it forever. And so we're heading into phase 2.
Well, there's a lot of things that you've discovered in this second phase of the process.
Oh
though, isn't
yeah,
there?
yes. Number 1 being marketing is important. The thing that we ignore in my mods like all the time, which is marketing, which I don't do at all. It apparently is important in the indie game world. You
Getting
need
the word out there, who'd have thunk it?
It helps to have when you start out. I guess it helps to release and build hype. Obviously, that's stuff I was never going to do. But it also helps, I found out, to have 10 friends. Like, you need 10 friends when you release a game, and you need those friends to buy legitimate copies. Because
Instead of just receiving keys.
Yes. Because I gave out keys to everyone, but apparently, Anna, who was kind enough to write a review after I asked her to, she wrote a review, and then I noticed it didn't count. It didn't count. So all you
It
other
doesn't count
people,
all, does it?
yeah. I mean, you can see the review, you can see Anna's review, but because she received a free copy, it doesn't count toward the Steam rating. You know, like Steam ratings, you see overwhelmingly positive, very positive, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That requires 10 reviews based on commercially bought copies. So all you other people are off the hook who I asked to give reviews that I've given keys to. Like I told Ronya, I told Skinny, I'm like, you're all off the hook. You don't have to review the game. It doesn't matter. If you review it with a free copy, it doesn't count. So they all
Yeah.
rejoiced, I'm sure.
No, it's distressing. Like I can't review the game at all because I'm classed as
But even
being a developer of the game.
Yeah, but even if you weren't classed that way, if I gave you a free key, which I probably would have to test the game, obviously you needed a free key, right? You couldn't pay for it. Your review wouldn't count. So, yeah, that's something that to all those indie developers who are like me and don't plan on marketing, you need 10 friends. You need at least 10 friends who are going to buy the game. You can even buy the game for them. You could pay for it. Give them $10, whatever, have them buy the game. And then their reviews will count. And then that, I don't even know how much that would help though, because even if you get 10 people to review it, and they're legit reviews, like they played the game or whatever,
Yeah.
and then it adds a rating, like positive or negative or whatever. I don't know how much that helps because I don't have the date on that because we haven't even gotten that far. So, should that day ever come, I'll let you know if that actually puts you on extra lists. But another thing I found out is that day 1, you're on like the list of new releases, new games. Day 2, you're likely not going to be there because there's like
So
30...
much stuff comes out.
Yeah, there's like 30 or 40 games that come out every day. So it's very easy for your game to get buried in all that noise. So
Yeah.
it's like day 1, I think we got like almost all our sales and like more than half of our wish list. And since then, we've got more wish lists because I've promoted somewhat. I posted like a thing on the Discord. I posted, yesterday I put the links on like my mod pages, which got like an additional like couple dozen wish lists. But that's just wish list. So I don't know if that will translate to sales at any point. I don't know what the metric is for how many wish lists on average convert.
Well, do you want me to have a look and see how many games I've got on my wish list, and we'll see how much that's translated. One sec, where is my wish list? There we go. Right, so when it released, I put Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor on my wish list. It's still there. From 2014.
Yeah. I don't
Darkest Dungeon 2016. Oh, I thought I got Life is Strange.
Apparently not.
Oh, well, there we go.
So
well.
I'm ready to. I mean, I'm not a coroner either. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a coroner, but I'm ready to pronounce this game dead.
Aww.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. We expected this from the beginning. So
yeah.
Thankfully, I don't have it's not like I'm like banking on this game for
you
to
didn't
survive.
sell your kidney for it or anything.
No. It is quite a money sink if you think about like the cost of future marketing. Like I was looking at like Indie Boost, and there's like you have to pay people to like streamers to play.
Yeah.
And the more like views like a streamer gets, like they'll like ask for like $500, and for an hour of streaming, I'm like, oh nah, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did pay a few small streamers because there's like some that'll like stream the game for like $10 for an hour. So we'll see how that goes. I also became a member of the I forgot what it's called. It's the IGDA, and I submitted the game for like a showcase thing, but I don't know if anything's gonna come out of that. So yeah, barring a miracle, I think it's dead.
But the thing is, it's all a learning experience, isn't it? Like, you're coming into it as an indie developer who's never made a game before, who's never had to list a game before. It isn't about the money that you make.
Oh, no.
It's about the experience that you've gained.
That is true, though, because, again, I don't really care about... Luckily, I'm privileged to a point where I'm in a position where I don't need the money necessarily. It would have been nice if I could... it will possibly affect... Because I'm going to make another game. It will possibly affect whether I can pay for voice acting, though. That's kind of the scary thing, is that like voice acting could cost like 60 to 70 grand.
Oof.
That's paying like discounted rates too. Like if you think about it,
maze rates.
Yeah, like that's like paying like $1 per line or something. So if I have like 50,000 lines, it's going to cost at least $50,000, right?
Yeah.
But like I think professional rates, that would be like 300,000 or like 400, 500. It'd be a lot.
Oh yeah, with like variation for.
Yeah,
like...
Out of Shapes isn't going to sell that much. So
I've been looking online because obviously with the situation there has been a hit to income and stuff like that. So I've been looking more about expanding my online voice acting portfolio. I'm following all of these different voice acting casters and stuff like that, and sometimes I'll have a tweet that says, oh, drop your thing in the thing, and people are asking for £2.50 a line. Well, $2.50 a line. It's like, I'm not worth that much.
But that's like even discounted rates, right? Because like professionals, they probably make, because they don't make by the line, I think they make by the hour, and they probably make like $400, $500 per hour, and it's
See,
insane.
I charge by the hour. Like, if somebody comes to me for voice acting, I come to agreement with whoever and I charge by the hour.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, I just take what I get given. Because money. I'm not a professional voice actor by any means.
Well, no, I mean, like
or even a good amateur voice actor.
If you're in the guild, you couldn't couldn't really negotiate. Like, the guild has specific rates, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
and damage pay for damaging lines, like screaming.
Yeah, exactly. See, they take care of you. That's what a union is for. But yes, like I would like to pay professional rates, but it's just I don't know if I have the money.
Unfeasible.
So. Well, because for the type of game I make, because like most people,
Yeah.
like they can afford voice acting because there's just they don't have a lot of dialogue. But the games I make are like even Out of Shapes has over 5,000 lines, so
yeah, it's very dialogue heavy.
Yeah. So if I make a fantasy game or something like that, it's gonna have 10 times that. So yeah, I mean like the whole point of like the games I like to make is just having lots of options like to choose from dialogue wise. So yeah, I'll have to see. I mean, I wasn't expecting this game to make a lot of money anyway, but I don't know. Maybe I'll be in a better financial position in a couple years.
And it puts you in a better position just as a developer to know where the money goes and how you can list, how you can advertise, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I didn't do any advertising either. That's another thing. But I just don't think that it would be something people would want to click on and buy. I don't know. I think like a streamer would be a better avenue of advertising just because they would play the game and people would see like what it was about. But like, yeah, like I can't imagine if I put a Facebook ad up, people would click on it. But you never know. Maybe that's what people do. Point is, that was a fun adventure. It was a good learning experience. But it doesn't look like anybody's playing.
You know what I'm getting a lot of ads for at the minute?
What?
This really weird romance fiction website.
Oh, yeah?
Which is really poorly written. Like, it looks like it's been translated from Russian or something. And it's just so bad, and it just keeps on popping up. And I know why it keeps on popping up, because I keep on expanding the post to read how bad it is, and it just keeps on popping up, and I just can't stop myself because I love terrible writing.
Well, plus they probably have you on a list after you read all that Clippy erotica.
Oh yeah, there we go.
They're like, oh, this person loves this kind of shit. She
My
read the Clippy book.
have been revealed.
She loved the Clippy book. She's gonna love this one too. So
that Clippy fan fiction was just pure gold.
Yeah.
It was something else entirely.
No.
Maybe that should be something that we get into. Reading terrible Amazon books. Because I had a lot of fun with the Clippy one.
Yeah. I mean,
really I've got all the time. I've got all the time in the world to get into stupid shit at the minute and find ways to entertain myself.
No.
Because I'm not doing
nothing. Start that too.
So other than learning Steamy type things and developer-y type things and working and stuff, what have you been doing to keep entertained in this terrible time?
Isn't that my question for you? Because I've been doing the same shit. Nothing. Making games, doing work, shit like that. You know, the same shit I've always been doing. Like I said, quarantine is no change for me, which is, again, is extremely privileged. Yeah. It's an extremely privileged take, but yeah. Oh, yeah, one other thing I was going to mention is, like, it's weird how many, just, like, how much spam you get when you make a game. It's like you get a bunch of just, like people asking for keys. I don't know why. I guess maybe to pirate the game or something, because it's already on pirated streams. And there's a bunch of people, like, I'll get, like, asking, like, for money to stream the game, but they don't, like, they're not English-speaking streams, so it's a bit weird.
And they're not posting their credentials. Yeah,
or they'll basically say that they're somebody else, but they're not. It's obviously not them. Like, they'll, like, say, I'm PewDiePie, and then... and like pay me money and I will basically stream the game, and it's like it's totally not legit. They're totally scammers. So there's a lot of scammers out there, so you got to be careful for that. But yeah, what have you been up to?
Oh, it's been difficult finding ways to keep myself entertained. I've been playing with the pigs. Yeah, I've been teaching the pigs some tricks. So mainly I've decided that because we've moved them to being near the kitchen now, every time they hear a bag rustling in the kitchen, they think, oh, it's dinner time. So I thought, why don't I give them a different trigger? Like Pavlov's dog it a bit. Why don't I put a bell in their cage, and when it's dinner time, I ring the bell.
Oh, there you go.
So every time I drop off some food in their cage, ring the bell, They associate the bell with food. They come up. They eat the food.
Nice.
What I didn't bank on was that the pigs decided that, well, the bell makes the food appear.
You put the bell within range of the pigs, and
Yep.
so they.
And so now the pigs are ringing the bell constantly because guinea pigs always eat.
Yeah, why don't you
love
just
it.
move the bell outside of the cage or whatever?
Because it's cute when they do ring the bell. It's really cute because the bell's quite heavy. So Leela, she's the newest one. She's very furry. She grabs the bell with her teeth, and then she pulls her head back, and then she whacks it against the bars. It's absolutely hilarious. She's a very strong pig, very strong.
Oh.
So I've been doing that during the daytime, but I've been missing going out and stuff like nightclubs and things like that, and nighttime entertainment, and so I've been looking into watching shows online and stuff, and it's actually quite inventive how all these nightclub performers and stuff are getting together, putting out digital content and stuff, because obviously a nightclub performance is a nightclub performance. It's something that needs to be done in front of an audience, you'd think.
No.
But it's I'm into Drag Race and drag queens and blah blah blah. Well, they've done this a couple of weeks ago. They did this massive online digital drag show with all the queens, and so it's making sure that they get paid. And one of my friends, Anaphylaxis, she works in the nightclub and burlesque industry. And so last week they put together a show where they could get a load of performers together, do a show, film it in their kitchens or houses or whatever, make things really nice, and trying to make money through that way, because it is difficult, especially if doing that sort of thing is your main source of income. And it's a bit different from me just watching Parks and Rec endlessly on repeat every night.
No, you could do that thing that people are doing where they bring the nightclub to you, to your home. You turn your home into a little nightclub, and then you have a pretend night out and stuff like that, and try and keep your sanity.
But it's also nice to just especially with smaller performers, you've got the big shows who are doing things like community reads of Community and Parks and Recs reunions and stuff like that. You've got all the big performers and stuff doing that, but if you enjoy homegrown entertainment, I know a lot of them have opened up things like Patreon, which is normally something that you only associate with the outside world, not the outside world, the internet world. It's I used to have a Patreon, you've got a Patreon, if you're creating digital content online you'll have a Patreon and things like that. And so it's interesting to see all these different real world interaction artists putting together their own shows and figuring out a way to translate that into the digital world. So it's making for a nice change of pace entertainment wise, I'll say that.
It's gotta do what you gotta do to keep your sanity.
Yeah. Hustle, learn the internet world, have a good time.
And not troll people online.
And not troll people online. It's rude.
Poor Grandma Shirley. Or whatever. I read on the internet,
Skyrim
yes.
Grandma.
Yes.
Oh.
It's getting trolled.
Yeah, so what's the actual story behind it? I only saw...
I have no idea. I actually kind of think it's a lot to do about nothing. She needed to take a break or something for her mental health, I think. And then it just became a big story because everyone's like, oh my god, someone's attacking Skyrim Grandma. And then it just flooded to all the news outlets or whatever. And she actually kind of got a little bit sassy online, saying stop talking about it. So I guess we shouldn't talk about it.
Okay, sorry Skyrim Grandma, we can't wait to see you in the next Skyrim game.
Oh yeah, the next Skyrim game, yes. Skyrim.
I've been
2.
on the internet too long because people call it Skyrim all the time, and it's not Skyrim, it's the Elder Scrolls. It's Oblivion is Skyrim the prequel.
Yeah.
Which I have been having so much fun with. I've completely changed the game through mods.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious.
So you change it in a immersion friendly way, or just just a wacky way?
Changed it in an immersion friendly way.
Okay, so no trains.
No trains, no, unfortunately. But it has been difficult. It's difficult modding Oblivion compared to Skyrim.
Yeah,
Because like Oblivion's a 2006-year-old game, and it's one of the games most associated with early modding, and early modding is just associated with boob mods.
Yeah, there's not a lot of. I mean, the selection I would think is a lot thinner. Like the actual, like modding it isn't. I don't think too difficult because it's the same sort of framework, same engine, more or less. I mean, it's more limited, obviously, but I don't think it's as like difficult so much as there's just like a smaller selection of Skyrim. There's like so many mods. There's mods for everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying because I like to mod my game, but I always like to mod it in an immersion-friendly way. Mm-hmm. I don't like massive immersion breaks and stuff like that. It confuses me a bit, and I don't like it. And I've been wanting to download like armor retextures and to like up the specs and things like that and make it look prettier. And I think I've managed to find one female armor mod which isn't just boobs. I somehow managed to install a mod which, and I'm not sure which mod it is because I installed a lot of mods and some of these mods added new content. I managed to install a mod which didn't change the female underwear, but changed the male underwear to a thong. And I don't know which mod it is, and I don't want to disable anything in my load order in case I mess the whole game up, but I was living a bandit corpse to try and, get some loot, get building up and stuff like that, and I looted the corpse and suddenly I was confronted by a guy with his butt out. I was like, I didn't install this on purpose.
You probably did.
I probably did, but I didn't install it on purpose.
Yeah,
because the female underwear's normal.
The thing about Oblivion is that the mods you can install maybe add to the immersion, but the actual gameplay of the base game, like, it forces you to do things that are not immersive. Like, to raise your acrobatics, you have to be jumping all day. If you want to raise like a magical skill, like I would just literally walk around and cast like a light spell or cast some kind of spell over and over again, like a madman, just so I can raise the skill because it's based on how often you use it, right?
But that's just like studying at university, you're reading the same passage over and over and over again until eventually it sinks in and suddenly you level up and you've got a degree.
Yeah, but then you do that within the confines of like a study hall or your room or something. You're not out on the street like reading the same passage. You're not like, just
I don't know, man. You haven't seen me before revising for an exam that I've got in 10 minutes.
You don't see athletes like walking down the street like jumping up and down over and over again, dribbling a basketball or kicking a soccer ball or doing whatever. Like it's just they do it within the confines of their training area. So that could be a mod, Oblivion like training. Like you get like 4 times the amount of experience, but you got to do it in the confines where it's socially acceptable and not out in the street.
So where would be socially acceptable to train your sneak skill?
Well, a sneak skill would be like at night. At night, right? It would make sense at night because it's dark and in any kind of alleyway, right?
Fair enough.
If you're walking around sneaking during the day, which is something I would do, I think that's how it works in Skyrim too, right? You sneak.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I would sneak around everywhere, build my sneak. It's the fucking middle of the day in the middle of the market and you're like sneaking around following people. So it's, if you want like that more realistic type of gameplay, yeah, just make a mod like that. Someone should get on that.
So I'm just going to keep on throwing these at you. Where would be an appropriate place to train your athletics? Bear it in mind that since the gyms are shut, everybody's out running on the streets.
If you're out for a jog, I think it'd be fine. Like just running around, maybe not in the city walls, but like outside the city walls, like outside the Imperial City. Is it called the Imperial City? I forget. Yeah, you could run around there, but don't run around in the market or just like in the regular streets, the residential area. It's just, that's not how it works. Because that's the problem with MMOs, right? You play an MMO and everyone's fucking running around, hopping around, and they're not even getting stats for it. Not even getting skill bumps for that. So stop that. Walk.
I've had a mad old time because basically I based my Oblivion character, once I got everything sorted out, off of my go-to stock VCM tabletop character, who's a Malkavian psychologist prostitute, which is very difficult to translate into Oblivion, believe it or not.
No, yeah.
And it turns out that the skills that are the easiest to translate for that are the worst skills. Genuinely the worst skills.
No,
Speechcraft and Mercantile.
Is Oblivion...
Why did I choose them as my main ones?
Oblivion is a mature game, though, too. You would think it would have more options like that. It has necrophilia in it, like people talk about that.
Yeah, it has necrophilia in it. Can't sell myself for sex in it. But yeah, I've literally picked the worst skills for leveling up.
Yeah.
I've made things difficult for myself, and I also installed an overhaul mod and a combat mod. And I'm dying all the time.
Yeah,
It's really hard.
It's very realistic, though.
Yeah,
That's
really
what matters.
realistic, but it's really hard.
Yeah,
I had to turn the slider all the way down to like 17.
No, yeah, that's not fun. At this age, the age of adulthood, you probably just want to play for the experience and the fun, and it's more fun if things die easily. I mean, it's not a game like Dark Souls where you're building a skill set anyway, like where that takes actual like get goodness. Oblivion is like one of those easy games anyway, so you might as well just turn it all the way down, make it easy.
Super easy, one shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is a balance there, right? I mean, if it's so easy that it's just like you might as well just play on God mode, that's not fun either. So you gotta find that right balance for you. So it's challenging without being like completely like frustrating, I guess.
Yeah, I've definitely made it too challenging for me as it stands. So I'm going to play with some sliders tomorrow. I'm going to try and get up to level 3 with my Mercantile and Speechcraft skill. Oh my god, that Speechcraft game is so maddening. I forgot how bad it was. Because I never played it, I just bribed.
Yeah.
I just bribed people.
Yeah, same here. I just pay people
to like me.
To be my friend, play my game.
It's like me, I just buy people beers and then they like me.
Alright, is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't believe so, no.
Alright.
Support local artists.
Yes, like me.
Yeah. Buy Out of Shapes.
Yes.
Support unusual media.
Yes. But yeah, that's it for this week. We will talk to you again. Everybody stay safe and stay sane.
And wear a face mask.
Yes, please. Wear a face mask. Buy Eleanor's face masks online.
Yes.
Alright, talk to you later.